The objective of the labor inspection is to further strengthen the implementation of the visitorial and enforcement powers under the Labor Code as renumbered, towards securing a higher level of compliance with labor laws and standards and ensuring continuity and sustainability of compliance at workplaces. For this purpose, the Department of Labor and Employment delegates this function to the regional offices, with the issuance of a list of labor inspectors who are given the authority of conduct inspection, which covers all private establishments, including their branches and workplaces in the regions. The regional offices enforce labor laws and social legislation through the conduct of labor inspection, occupational safety and health investigation, and technical and advisory visit. Special inspections may be conducted as may be deemed necessary. With the provision for mobile devices and gadgets, the DOLE developed an inspection management information system. An important feature of the system is data capture and transmittal from the field in real time, as an electronic checklist is filled up through the use of mobile devices and gadgets. Data are instantly available for viewing and processing to generate reports, statistics, and summons, including real-time monitoring of decent work indicators based on the country's decent work profile. The TAV, or Technical and Advisory Visit, aims to provide assistance to the micro-establishments, or establishments that have 1 to 9 employees, to be sustainable, productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable, while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. The online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The DOLE regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet.
Establishment owners carry a big responsibility to comply with labor laws, including submitting reports and providing documents like payroll records during inspections. But the manual filing process is a major challenge. They need to spend time, money, and effort to fill out forms and deliver them to the DOLE office, often dealing with traffic and delays. Sometimes, There's a long wait just to confirm if the report is accurate and complete. And it's not just employers facing difficulties. Dole employees also struggle with limited manpower and the time-consuming task of reviewing and processing these reports. The time has come for change. What's required now is a more innovative, streamlined, and efficient process for handling compliance reports. One that will simplify life not just for businesses but also for Dole employees. Welcome to the Dole Online Compliance Portal, your all-in-one platform for seamless compliance submissions, designed to make compliance easier and more convenient for establishment owners. Telecommuting reports? Flexible work arrangement submissions? Reporting the 13th month pay? No problem. Even work accident or illness reports and the annual establishment report on wages, everything you need is now in one convenient portal. Plus, the Dole Online Compliance Portal now includes the latest requirement for reporting movie and television shoots under Department Order 246, Series of 2024. All your compliance needs in one place, quick, secure, and hassle-free. With the Dole Online Compliance Portal, registering your establishment is a breeze. Our automatic registration system ensures you are instantly compliant with OSH Standard Rule 1020. Once submitted, your certificate of registration is immediately available for download, saving you time and effort. If your establishment has been flagged for non-compliance during labor inspection, don't worry. Required documents can be submitted quickly and conveniently. And if you're missing certain policies, like a mental health program or OSH program, we've got you covered with downloadable templates. Submit these documents directly through the portal, where Dole inspectors will review, provide feedback, and keep you on track for compliance. With admin access on the Dole Online Compliance Portal, the labor inspectors can easily review the submitted reports and documents from the establishments. If further verification is needed, they can schedule an online meeting through Google Meet, all within the portal. This streamlines compliance checks, saving time and making the process more efficient for everyone. It's a smarter, more efficient way to stay compliant and keep your business running smoothly. Welcome to a new era of compliance, simplified, fast, and effective with the Dole Online Compliance Portal.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our webinar Wednesdays of the Department of Labor and Employment hosted by the Bureau of Working Conditions. This is Eliza Sanyosa, your host for today's webinar. Last August, kasama natin at ibang mga expert on OSH mula sa iba't ibang opisina at organisasyon tulad ng Institute of Integrated Electrical Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, Philippine Society of Mechanical Engineers Incorporated, Occupational Safety and Health Center, at Occupational Health Nurses Association of the Philippines. Tinalakay natin at iba't ibang pamantayan ng workplace safety and health. Nabigyan nila tayo ng karagdagang kaalaman sa kahalagahan ng safety and health measures sa ating workplaces. Ang ating mga workers, employers at OSH committees naman ay ating na-empower sa kanilang mahalagang tungkulin sa kanilang opisina para matulungan mag-comply at maging sustainable ang kanilang compliance para masiguradong ligtas ang bawat pagawaan. Ngayon, sa Season 3, Episode 30, we'll take a peek inside labor inspection, particularly ang ating roles bilang employer at mga manggagawa at paano natin mapagtutulungan upang masigurado ang tama ang implementasyon ng ating labor standards. Pero bago yan, let us start with a short drill.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude for the opportunity to gather in this webinar. We thank you for the gift of technology that allow us to connect, learn, and grow even from afar. We ask for your guidance and wisdom for every speaker and participant so that we may share valuable and inspiring insights. Help us listen with open minds and hearts, eager to learn from one another. Grant us clarity of thought and expression, making our discussions meaningful and impactful. We pray that this session fosters understanding, collaboration, and the sharing of knowledge that benefits everyone. May your presence be felt in our midst, encouraging a spiritual of unity and respect. We trust in your divine wisdom to lead us through any challenges or difficulties we may face today. As we conclude this time together, may we carry forward the lessons we have learned with a renewed sense of purpose and dedication. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Ayan, good afternoon once again to our Facebook viewers. Thank you for joining us today. Paki-heart or like react naman ang post nito at please don't forget to hit the follow button on our page, Dolly BWC 1949, to get updated on the latest announcements and to know more about labor standards and occupational safety and health standards in the workplace. Please do not forget to share this live stream with your friends, family, and colleagues and use our hashtag Webinar Wednesdays. For questions and clarifications, please use the comment section below the screen and our resource speakers will address them during our question and answer portion. So again, welcome po. This is Season 3, Episode 30 of our Webinar Wednesdays titled Inside Labor Inspection, What Employers and Workers Need to Know. Para bigyan tayo ng dagdag kaalaman, let us get the webinar started. It is a great pleasure to introduce our speakers for today from Dolly Regional Office Number 3. Our first speaker is a graduate of political science at the University of Santo Tomas and a Bachelor of Laws at the San Beda College. He is a former labor inspection evaluator, a hearing officer, a shadow at the Dolly Clark Satellite Office and Bulacan Field Office. He is also an accredited negotiator by the DOJ Office of Alternative Dispute Resolution. He is a senior labor and employment officer and is currently designated as a Dolly Region 3 Sheriff, Election Officer, and is currently assigned at the Dolly RO3 Legal Service Unit. Our first speaker is Mr. Paulo Franco B. Magtoto. Next on our list is our second speaker, who is also a senior labor and employment officer with 11 years of experience as a labor inspector. He is a Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the Centro Escolar University Manila, and he is also a registered nurse. He is currently assigned at the Dolly Region Office Number 3 Pampanga Field Office as a shadow, a focal in labor inspection, technical and advisory visit, tripartism, among others. Our second speaker, Mr. Fernando C. Malyari IV. And our last speaker for this afternoon, we have a senior labor and employment officer with 11 years of experience as a labor inspector, also a nurse, and a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, a graduate of the University of the Assumption. He is also the Vice President of the Occupational Health Nurses Association of the Philippines, Pampanga Clark Chapter. Our third speaker, Mr. Edward Saire. Sir Paulo, Sir Fer, and Sir Edward, the virtual floor is yours.
Yeah. Miss Eliza, no? Thank you very much. I hope maganda yung audio, no? Before I start, no, let me say hi po muna sa mga nakikinig or sa mga nanonood, no? And sana po nasa very safe na places kayo, either sa bahay nyo or sa mga workplaces ninyo. And let me say hi din po, no, sa mga colleagues ko public servants, no, sa Department of Labor and Employment, particularly po sa Region 3, no. At sa aming mentor, sa aking boss, Boss Rima Hernandez, siya po ang kumbaga nagturo sa aming lahat, no, regarding dito sa topic na to. So, good morning po sa lahat, no. So, going back to the topic, no, we will discuss the the what is a labor inspection, what is inside the labor inspection, and what employers and workers need to know, no? Basically, ang dami nating kumbaga, pag narinig natin labor inspection, para kang pulis, para kang takot na takot kapag nakikita mo sila, no? So, well, totoo naman kung talagang medyo may problem ka or talagang violator ka, may reason kung bakit ka matatakot. But if you're not a violator or wala ka naman, compliant ka naman, wala ka namang problem at all, then there's no need to be frightened upon. No? Wala naman dapat issue regarding this one. We are just here to check whether you are compliant or not. And kung sakali man may problem, we are here also to assist. No? Next slide po. Next, Sir Matt. So the outline of the discussion or the webinar, no, the program, we will first talk about the labor inspection program. Then of course, no, we will talk about the legal basis. Then the purpose, kung bakit tayo mayroong labor inspection. Same with objectives, no? Anong objective ng labor inspection program? Then we will talk about yung particular na, no? The nitty-gritty of the inspection process. That is labor inspection, technical and advisory visit, and OSH investigation. Then we will also talk about the Dole Regional Office's role in the administration, enforcement, and promotion of labor standards, as well as the roles of employers and employees in the conduct of the labor inspection. Then what happens after the labor inspection? Siyempre, after ng ma-inspect, anong gagawin? Anong nangyayari? Okay? And how the employers and workers work together towards this sustained compliance. Next. So, what is the labor inspection program in the Philippines? No? Next slide. So we have these five purposes. No? Number one, it contribute to decent work and inclusive economic growth. So, ang bibigat ng mga words, no? Lagi natin naririnig yan. What is decent work and what is inclusive economic growth, no? So, when we talk about decent work, no, ito yung kapag parang sinasabi natin na yung employment natin, yung pagtatrabaho natin, supposedly dapat, okay, nirerespeto yung mga fundamental human rights, no? Right to fair wages, yung right to safe and healthy workplace, um, freedom of association, and right against discrimination, child labor, etc. So, that is decent work, no? The employer, both the employer and the employee must observe yung tinatawag nating fundamental rights ng mga workers, okay? And what is inclusive economic growth? Isa pang medyo technical na term. Inclusive economic growth, ang kumbaga regular parlance natin, no? Ang ibig sabihin niyan, hindi lang dapat yung mangilan-ngilan lang yung nakikinabang doon sa growth or prosperity ng ating bansa, no? Dapat lahat, hindi lang halos lahat, dapat lahat, no? It must be inclusive enough to kumbaga to include everyone, no? Who is a member of the society. Okay? Role nating lahat 'yan, no? So number two, another purpose, no? Enforce labor laws on wages, benefits, working hours, OSH, and etc. Sige. So, ang isa sa kumbaga purpose ng labor inspection program is kumbaga yung mga labor laws natin hindi lang makikita natin sa Labor Code of the Philippines. There are a lot, no? Not only the Constitution, ang dami pang mga batas patungkol diyan, no? To check, no, na yung mga batas patungkol sa tamang pagbabayad ng mga wages, yung mga benepisyo, social benefits, no? Working hours, sumusobra ba sa working hours na sobra na baka hindi naman na yan healthy na sa isang empleyado, no? Hindi lang yung tama yung bayad, tama din ba yung pati yung mga premium na kailangan bayaran kamukha ng overtime pay. And hindi lang dapat tama yung pasahod, no? Iniisip ng iba, ang importante lang sa isang workplace tama yung pasahod. Okay? It doesn't necessarily mean like that. Meron din tayong tinatawag na occupational safety and health. Okay? Hindi lang tama yung pasahod, dapat healthy and safe ang ating workplaces. Okay? Dapat at the end of the day, hindi lang tama yung perang dinadala ng isang empleyado, sa kanyang bahay, pati dapat safe and health. Kung paano siya umalis ng kanyang bahay, dapat kung maayos siya at healthy siya, dapat mas maayos at mas healthy siya pagbalik niya ulit sa kanyang bahay, no? Hindi yung pagbalik niya sa bahay, parang kulang-kulang na yung daliri or what, or parang may sakit na or what, no? Hindi ganon. So, we have to observe that, no? The employer must observe that or provide programs regarding that. And we are here to check kung talagang naka-implement yung mga nai-implement yung mga ganong standards natin sa loob ng company. Number three, the third purpose, no, advise and assist employers and workers, okay? Uh, Paki-take note ho, dala ho yan, no? The employers and the workers. We are here not to advise only the workers but also the employers, no? Tulungan sila na before pa magkaroon ng inspection, tulungan sila kung paano yung tamang batas, okay? Or yung yung kailangan nilang i-submit, kailangan nilang gawin, kailangan nilang i-observe, okay? Sa loob ng workplace, there are rules okay? And they must observe those rules. So, may mga iba kasi, hindi lang workers, even employers, okay? They don't know what are the rules. For whatever reason it might be, no? They don't know what are the rules. So we are here to advise and assist them. Okay? Minsan kami pang pumupunta sa company, no? Through labor education, kasama kasi yan, pag inspect ka na rin, at the same time, tuturuan mo pa rin sila kung paano or kung bakit, for example, nagkaroon ng violation, no? Turuan mo sila bakit umabot sila sa ganung violation. Okay? Ibang ibang kwento yung penalty, ibang kwento yung tuturuan mo bakit sila nagkaroon ng ganung violation. Even with workers, okay? Tuturuan sila kung bakit nagkaroon ng such violation, okay? Kahit wala pang nagrereklamo, for them to understand. Okay? Number four, the fourth purpose, no? Promote prevention of violations through education. Ang sabi nga nila lagi, 'di ba? Prevention is better than cure, no? Hindi naman natin gusto, okay? Na na tuloy-tuloy yung violation because they don't know the laws, no? Although sinasabi nila ignorance of the law excuses no one from compliance, 'di ba? But then again, yung realidad natin, may mga iba talaga they're not focused doon Okay? Or yung iba sinasadya, ibang kwento kung sinasadya, no? But we are here, we have a program, no, the labor education program, no, yung list namin, okay? And even with in the inspection, no, kasama na rin ho yan, no, twin obligation na yan or twin power na rin yan, no. We are here to educate, no, the employers kung ano yung batas, okay? At yung rights and obligations, both the employers and the employees. So, kapag talagang nalaman na nila, okay pala, ito pala yung karapatan ito pala yung obligasyon at karapatan natin. Siguro doon na talagang mababawasan at talaga namang nababawasan po no kapag alam na nila kung ano yung batas no, yung mga violations. Okay? And the fifth one, no, the fifth purpose, encourage a culture of compliance and partnership, no. If you will check, no, meron tayong tinatawag ng tripartite partnership, no? So, nandito kami, Dole, as the government. Then, we have a representative from the employer sector and the employee sector, no? So, it's a tripartite partnership, no? Nandito tayo para magtulungan, no? Yun nga, para magkaroon ng decent work tsaka i-promote yung inclusive economic growth. Ganyan yung setup natin, So, sabi nila, yung tripartism, yan yung parang mas nagiging kumbaga mas na-observe natin yung karapatan ng mga laborers, no, kapag tatlo na kumbaga ay nagkakaroon ng partnership na. So next slide po. So the main objectives po, no, to ensure a high level of compliance with labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. Okay? Take note of the high level of compliance, no? Hindi lang yung parang saktong comply ka lang, yung pag may nasita ka, comply ka, then balik ka na naman sa dati. It's not like that, no? You have to know the rules, no? And nandito kami as advocate para tuloy-tuloy yung pagko-comply natin. Hindi lang yung parang minsanan ka lang mag-comply then balik ka na naman sa dati. No, it's not like that, no. We are here to ensure that there must be a high level of compliance, so both the general labor standards and the occupational safety and health standards. And the second objective is to ensure that the compliance at the workplace is continuous and sustainable. Yeah. Next slide po. So these are our legal basis. No? Ito yung mga rules natin. No? Well, aside doon sa Constitution, no? We have this one, the Labor Code of the Philippines. No? So sa Labor Code of the Philippines, particularly Article 128 of the Labor Code of the Philippines speaks about the visitorial and enforcement power. Nakita po natin kaninang doon sa video. No? The visitorial and enforcement power of the Secretary of Labor and Employment or his authorized representatives. No? So, anong meron sa Article 128? Anong meron doon? So, sa Article 128 ho, binibigyan kapangyarihan ang Secretary of Labor and Employment or ang kanyang mga authorized representative po to have access no sa premises ng company sa workplace niya. Well, at the same time doon po sa mga employment records no to check whether with respect doon sa premises there is if they are following yung mga protocols na naka-indicate or nakasulat po doon sa tinatawag nating occupational safety and health standards no later we will discuss Department Order 252 no. And as well as kung tama nga yung pasahod niya. Okay, that is access to the employment records. Merong bang not only yung pasahod, not only kung ano yung binabayaran sa isang tao, as well as merong bang kontrata. Meron ba dalang kontrata yung mga employees, no? Yung iba kasi iniisip nila just to evade yung employer-employee relationship, employer-employee relationship, hindi sila na mag-i-issue ng contract. That is wrong, no? So, that's the wrong impression actually, you know. So, aside doon sa dalawang yun, right to access sa premises and right to access sa employment records, we have also this power, the Secretary of Labor, no, through its visitor and enforcement power, meron din siyang karapatan na mag-interview ng workers. Okay? Siguro kung hindi pa enough yung employment records, pwedeng diretso na yan sa workers to check kung ano talagang nangyayari. Okay, in this day and age, yung mga workers marami na ring alam eh. Unlike before, no, medyo kaya pang itago yung mga rights and obligations, but now it's very hard, no. So may idea na yung mga tao regarding this one. Okay. And finally, if there is indeed a violation no, noted by our inspector, either to routine inspection, complaint inspection, or the technical advisory visit, or the OSHA investigation, no, mag-i-issue yan ng notice of result. Okay? In the notice of result, particularly the routine and complaint inspection, no, nandoon po yung mga observations ng mga violations, naka-indicate ho lahat doon, nakasulat, which will be after writing it, no, it will be signed also by the employer representative and the employee representative. So later it will be discussed further by our next speaker, no. So after nun, we will exact yung penalties assuming hindi pa rin sumunod. Okay? So we also have Republic Act 11058. This one is an act. The title of the law is Act Strengthening Compliance with Occupational Safety Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof. Ang pinaka-recent na in-issue na DOLE Department Order regarding this one is Department Order number 252 series of 2025. So, okay. So, yung naman pong actual inspection naman, the labor inspection process, okay, nakapaloob po siya doon sa Department Order number 238 series of 2023. So, this is rules on the administration and enforcement of labor standards pursuant to Article 128 of the Labor Code of the Philippines as renumbered and Republic Act number 11058. So, this will be discussed further po by our next speaker, Mr. Fer, no? Sir Fer po. Sir Fer?
Alright, thank you po Sir Pao.
Thank you.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. And of course, thank you rin po kay Ma'am Eli ng BWC kanina po bilang ating host. So ulit po, good afternoon po sa lahat ng nanonood ng FB Live. So ako nga po muli si Fernando C. Malyari IV, isa pong labor inspector. And sa continuation po ng ating topic for this webinar Wednesdays, ipagpapatuloy po nating ang ating kwentuhan tungkol sa isang madalas takbuhan pero minsan iniiwasan, ang labor inspection po, no? So alam nyo po, kapag naririnig natin ang salitang inspection, parang love life lang po yan minsan, nakakakaba kasi baka may makakita. Pero gaya ng isang mabuting kaibigan po, nandito kami hindi para manita lamang, kundi para mag-guide at tumulong kung paano magiging compliant ang inyong mga workplaces. Okay, so next slide po. So under labor inspection process po, we have interventions po at may tatlong klase po tayo ng intervention dito. Parang tatlong klase rin po ng karelasyon yan. May mahigpit, may maasahan at may maswerteng nagbibigay po ng advice. So ang unang-una po dito ang labor inspection. Ano nga po ba ang labor inspection? Kahit pa ulit-ulit na po nadidiscuss. Ito po ang pinakakaraniwan at regular na klase ng inspection na ginagawa po ng DOLE or ng Department of Labor and Employment, of course through the labor inspectors na kagaya ko po, upang masuri kung ang isang kumpanya ay sumusunod sa mga labor standards at occupational safety and health laws po natin. And yung sakop po nito, tinitingnan natin of course yung minimum wage compliances, kagaya po of course ng overtime pay, holiday pay. Sine-check rin po natin yung working hours, yung employment contracts, at saka ibang benepisyo po tulad ng mga 13-month pay. And ine-evaluate rin po natin yung OSH standards tulad po ng ating pag-issue ng PPE, mga safety signages, and kung may mga emergency exits. And ano naman po yung benepisyo po ito na sa mga ating mga employers? Unang-una, helps avoid legal issues and penalties. Yun po, para maiwasan nila ang penalty na pwedeng mag-lead rin po sa possible closure orders at syempre minsan may legal drama pong nangyayari. Ano po ba yung benefits nito sa mga workers? Or bakit mahalaga po ito sa workers? Syempre, ensures protections and welfare para masiguro nila na tama ang sahod, ligtas ang lugar paggawa, at may respeto ang employer sa kanilang mga karapatan po. Another po ng labor inspection intervention is the OSH investigation or mas kilala po sa OSHI. Ano po ba ito? Hindi ito routine inspection. Kadalasan reactive ito na ginagawa kapag may aksidente po or near miss or reklamo or tinatawag po natin imminent danger sa lugar paggawa. So ang imminent danger po, ito ay tumutukoy sa agarang panganib o sitwasyon po sa lugar na paggawa na maaring magdulot ng malubhang pinsala o kapansanan o kamatayan or kung hindi man agad ito maaksyonan po, no? So ano po ba yung pinaka-purpose po nito? It examine accidents, imminent danger, or any OSH violations. Yun nga po, pag-imbestiga kung paano nangyari ang aksidente or yung banta. And then kung chine-check rin po, may nilabag sa batas na paglabag sa batas or sinatawag po nating OSH law, which is the RA 11058. And kung pwede rin pong magrekomenda ng immediate corrective measures para maiwasan po ang paglalapo nito. So bakit po ito mahalaga sa ating mga employers? Ano po ba anong mga benefits po nito? It prevents productivity loss due to accidents. Yes. Maiwasan ang pagkawala ng productivity at dagdag gastos dahil sa aksidenteng nangyari. And nakakatulong rin po ito para maprotektahan at ang pangalan at reputasyon po ng kumpanya, syempre. So ano naman po yung benefit sa ating mga workers? It protects life, health, and dignity. Ayun po, mas ligtas silang makakapasok sa trabaho dahil agad na na-address ang panganib at nabibigyang boses po sa proseso ng investigasyon. And yung last po na intervention sa ating labor inspection is the technical advisory visit or the TAV. This is for micro-establishments through preventive and educational process. Ito po ay hindi para manghuli kundi para magturo at magbigay gabay. So ano po yung pinaka-purpose po nito or pinakasakop po nito? Siyempre para ma-assist po yung mga micro-enterprises in understanding labor laws and OSH through basic orientation, yun po tungkol sa labor laws and OSH compliance. And yun po, gumagamit po tayo ng checklist dito or template para sa self-assessment, para ma-assess po ng isang micro-establishment kung sumusunod na po ba ito sa ating mga tinakdang batas or yung labor laws natin and OSH compliances para madaling makasunod po ito. And ano po ba itong benefit sa ating employers or bakit mahalaga po ito sa ating mga employers? Encourages voluntary compliance, improves knowledge. Yon, may guidance bago pa lumaki ang operasyon, kaya hindi sila nagugulat kapag dumating ang formal inspection or yung tinatawag po nating labor inspection. And then, nakakatulong sa kanila na mag-voluntary comply din po. And sa benefit naman sa workers, ensures protection even small-scale work settings. So yun, kahit maliit po ang kumpanya, may protection sila at hindi napapabayaan ang kanilang kaligtasan at karapatan po. No? So yun po yung ating mga labor inspections intervention. So yun, lagi po nating tandaan na ang labor inspection na hindi po ito lagi sa tungkol sa panghuhuli. Kung tutuusin, para itong relasyon po na mas maganda kung maaga pa lang naayos na ang problema, di ba po? Okay, next slide po. So we have the 4 steps of labor inspection process po. So paano ba talaga ang proseso ng labor inspection? Kung iisipin po natin, may 4 na hakbang po ito, hindi para manghuli agad or maghanap po ng problema or any violation, kundi para ayusin kung ano ang dapat pong ayusin natin. Parang stages din po ito ng moving on, pero ang dulo po nito ay improvement at compliance, hindi po heartbreak, di ba po? So unang-una po dito yung pre-inspection process natin. Dito po nagsisimula ang lahat. Ito po ang information, dissemination, and coordination. So yun po, we have to identify and priority establishment sectors based on the risk po. So hindi lahat po ng kumpanya ay ini-inspection po kaagad-kaagad. And we have a criteria kung sino po ang unahin po namin kung kagaya po kung may mataas po na risk ito. For example, yung mga high risk establishments po natin which considered to be our priority, kagaya po ng mga construction natin, ongoing construction projects, mga manufacturings and chemicals industry businesses. And kung may ano rin po ito, reklamo or for complaint inspection. So, ano po ba yung benefit po nito? Para ma-prioritize ang high impact establishments at masulit ang resources po, lalo na ang ating gobyerno po, no? And parang sa buhay po, hindi mo pwedeng sabay-sabay na ayusin ang lahat. Inuuna po natin kung ano po sa tingin natin yung mas makakabuti po, no? So another next process po is the on-site inspection po. So yun. So ito na po yung mismong araw ng inspection or the conduct of inspection. We have to evaluate the employment records, facilities, and workers' interviews. So yung purpose po nito is to assess working conditions and legal compliances. So ito na po yung pumupunta na kami sa workplace at ginagawa na po namin yung pag-check ng employment records kagaya po ng payroll, yung working hours, and of course sa OSH, yung OSH programs po. And also nakikipag-usap po sa mga workers through interview. Pero syempre, pag kinokonduct rin po namin yung interview, syempre may confidentiality pa rin po ito and may respeto sa ating mga workers. So, hindi lang para makakita ng mali po, kundi para maunawaan ang aktual na kalagayan ng manggagawa rin po. And parang honest talk lang po yan sa isang relasyon. Walang filter pero may malasakit po, no? So next process po is the post-inspection report, feedback and compliance recommendations po. Dito nilalabas na po yung resulta through the results or tinatawag po namin mga notice of inspection results or the notice of OSHI results and the notice of visit results po. So Kung may nakita po kaming gaps, hindi ibig sabihin agad penalty po ito. Nagbibigay muna kami ng feedback through these notices and compliances recommendations po, no? So ang pinaka-goal po nito or purpose para mabigyan ng pagkakataon ng employer na itama ang kakulangan bago lumala po ang sitwasyon po, no? Parang ano lang rin po yan, constructive criticism, sinasabi kung ano ang dapat baguhin pero hindi sirahin po ang relasyon, no? And last po is the follow-up and the assistance. Technical support to address deficiencies and improve practices po. Ito ang huling hakbang, pero pinakamalaga para sa long term po, no? Sinusubaybayan po namin kung nagawa ba ang mga corrections at kung may kailangan pa silang tulong, gaya ng technical guidance or of course yung training po natin. Yung purpose po natin dito, ensure sustained compliance para hindi na maulit ang paglabag at maging sustainable po ang ating compliances. And yung benefits po, reduces repeat violation, improves practices po. Parang kung mapapansin po natin sa bawat hakbang, may kasama itong tulong at guidance, hindi one time na paninita, kundi proseso ng pakikipagtulungan po ito, no? Next slide po. For the workers' rights and responsibilities po, alam po natin na ang relasyon ng employer at manggagawa ay parang partnership rin po ito, no? Hindi pwedeng isa lang ang gagawa ng tama. Kaya sa labor inspection, mahalaga rin pong alam ng bawat manggagawa ang karapatan nila at ang kakibat po nating responsibilidad. Next slide po. So, yung karapatan po na manggagawa or yung ating rights of workers, first, to fair wages and humane working hours, tamang sahod at makataong oras ng trabaho. Yun po, dapat tumanggap ang manggagawa ng hindi bababa sa minimum wage sa kanilang rehiyon. And dapat may tamang oras ng trabaho, hindi sobra po sa 8 hours kada araw at may bayad naman po kung may overtime syempre. And kasama rin dito po yung rest days, holiday pay, night shift differential kung applicable po, no? Next, to have safe and healthy workplaces. Dapat ligtas po sa panganib ang lugar paggawa or kung saan po tayo nagtatrabaho. Mula sa kuryente, makina hanggang sa chemicals po, no? And then dapat may personal protective equipment rin po tayo or yung PPE kung kinakailangan. And then kung may access rin po sa first aid, of course yung implementation po ng OSH program and health facilities po natin po meron rin po, no? Then to have freedom of association and protection against retaliation po, no? Kalayaan na mag-organisa po, no? May karapatan po ang ating manggagawa na bumuo ng union o sumali po dito. And ito po ay para magkaroon sila ng collective voice sa negotiation po, no? And then, kailangan rin po nila na to have access grievance mechanism po, no? So, karapatang magsumbong basta may mabuting hangarin po, no? So, kung may nakikitang paglabag, may karapatan silang mag-report. Pero dapat honest po ito at hindi ginagamit sa paninira o yung personal vendetta or yung intriga po, no? And then, of course, meron rin pong responsibility yung ating mga workers. So, una-una po yung follow safety rules and policies. So, kailangan sumunod po sa safety rules and company policies ang ating mga empleyado. Kagaya po ng pagsuot ng PPE, yung pag-report ng unsafe practices at pag-iwas sa paglabag sa internal rules ng isang kumpanya. So, hindi pwedeng employer lang ang may responsibilidad para sa kaligtasan. So, syempre kasama rin po dito yung ating mga empleyado. Yon, cooperation with inspections. Makipag-cooperate po ang ating mga manggagawa during inspections. Kapag may labor inspection po, ang cooperation po nila ay napakahalaga. Yun po, kailangan po kasi magsabi ng totoo or ang hindi pagsabi po ng totoo or pag-iwas sa usapan ay nagdulot po ng mas malaking problema. So, yung cooperation po ng ating mga workers during inspection or the conduct of inspection ay talagang napakahalaga po, no? And of course, yung last, report violations in good faith. Magsumbong kung dapat, hindi kung gusto lang gumante, no? So, ang pagsumbong ay para sa ikabubuti ng lahat, hindi para manira po ng employer or co-worker. And dito pumapasok rin po yun nga po, konsepto ng good faith reporting. So, yun po yung mga rights and responsibilities ng ating mga manggagawa. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi lang karapatan ang dapat alam natin, kundi pati responsibilidad po. Dahil ang tunay na compliance, hindi yan solo flight. Team effort yan ng employer at manggagawa po, no? So bali sa experience ko po bilang isang labor inspector and in this field natutunan ko po na ang pinaka-epektibong labor inspection ay yung hindi parang break up, parang walang sisihan, kung di may learning at growth. Kung magsasama-sama po tayo, yung mga employers, workers at ang DOLE, kami po, part ng government, hindi lang compliance ang makukuha po natin, kundi isang magandang workplace na parang may healthy relationship, may respeto, tiwala at ingat sa isa't isa. So yun po yung aking part for our webinar this day. Maraming salamat po. So ang susunod naman po sa ating discussion, susunod po nating speaker, ang aking kasamang inspector po dito sa Region 3, si Mr. Edward Saire po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sir Fer. Maliwanag po ba ang aking audio? Ayan. So, again, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. We are glad na kayo po ay nakasama namin sa on today's Wednesday, no? So, dito po, again, as Sir Pao and Sir Fer have discussed, no? So, dito naman po, ang pag-uusapan naman po natin on my part of the discussion is yung ating mga rights and responsibilities ng ating mga employers, no? So, narinig po kanina, no, sa mula po kay Ma'am Eliza of BWC, no, ang favorite word po namin sa DOLE, no, is really collaboration, no? So, we achieve po our targets, no? We conduct po our interventions in collaboration po with our stakeholders, no, mga employers, employees, no, and other stakeholders. So dito po, meron din po tayong mga tinatawag na rights and responsibilities ng ating employer, no, pagdating po sa inspection. So next slide po. Okay, so first off, no, meron tayong tinatawag na fair and objective inspection procedures, no. So, ito po ay isang fundamental right ng ating mga employers, no. Kapag po kaming mga labor inspector ay nagko-conduct ng labor inspection sa inyong mga establishmento. So, ito pong karapatan na to ensures that the inspection po is conducted with impartiality, no? Consistency, no, and respect for due process, protecting ang ating mga employers from arbitrary or biased actions. So basically, sa pag-conduct po namin ng labor inspection, we follow a checklist, no? Gumagamit po kami ng checklist, no, which guides us inspectors in navigating all the indicators found in the GLS or General Labor Standards and Occupational Safety and Health Standards. So ang mga inspection po ay dapat makonduct objectively, again, based on facts and other applicable laws. So meron din po tayong right, no, to receive technical advice and assistance. Para saan po ito, no? This is recognized as an essential employer's right, no, during labor inspection. So this right supports the educational and developmental role of labor inspectorate. So hindi lang po namin tinitignan ang level of compliance ng ating mga establishment, no? We also conduct education, no? Ito po ang part ng developmental role po ng ating labor inspectorate. So it's not just regulatory in function or enforcement function. So ang mga employers will have the right to receive guidance from us inspectors, no, clarification and support from labor inspectors, especially po sa pag-iintindi, no, ng compliance with labor standards and occupational safety and health requirements. So ang pinaka-basic lang pong naalala ko when I visit establishment during the inspection is yung pong NC2 requirement. For example, for a forklift operator, so basically po yung establishment, no, for a forklift operator. So nire-refer po natin yan sa TESDA, no? For training conducted by ONAP naman po, no? Occupational Health Nurses Association. For RNs, no? Sila po ang nagko-conduct ng training. Okay? So, no, the right to be heard in cases of alleged non-compliance ko. So kung sakali po in the course of our visit or labor inspection, no, meron pong na-note na non-compliance or violations, no, fundamental right po ng employers during labor inspection, so to be ensured na the due process is upheld. So mabigyan po ng due process and that employers are not penalized without the opportunity to present themselves. So after ng issuance of notice of results, no, halimbawa po, meron pong violation or deficiency noted, meron po tayong 20 calendar days ang establishment to provide proof of compliance to be part of the plant level restitution. Then kung sakaling hindi pa po ito sapat, no, magpo-provide po ng compliance or po tayo ng another 30 days for the mandatory conference. Okay? So, what are the responsibilities naman po of our employer, no? Of an employer? So, number one po dyan is yung pag-provide ng safe working conditions, no? So, in providing work-safe conditions, this duty is mandated po, again, nabanggit din po ni Sir Paulo kanina, and Sir Fer, no? Na meron po tayong OSLO, no? Republic Act 11058, no? With its kalalabas lang po na guidelines na Department Order 252. So, what are the key responsibilities of the employer in providing a safe condition? So, syempre po, kailangan po, we have to ensure a workplace free from hazards. That's why we encourage po our employers, kung kayo po ay employers, no, kailangan po mag-conduct po kayo ng tinatawag nating HIRAC, no, yung hazards identification, risk assessment and control, no, para po mag-come up kayo with the mag-come up and implement controls to prevent po yung mga accidents, illnesses, and even po fatalities. So, dyan din po pumapasok yung pag-implement natin ng OSH program, no, ng mga safety policies and procedures, no, at dyan din po pumapasok yung ating mga conduct of mandatory OSH training, no, based on Section 15 of the Department Order 252. So, employers din po should provide OSH orientation to all new workers before deployment po, no, para ma-orient po sila kung ano po ang dadatnan nila sa kanilang workplace. So, meron din po dyan provision ng mga OSH seminar, no, for workers and safety officers. So, bukod po doon, no, meron din tayong tinatawag na provision ng personal protective equipment, no, or PPE, no, at no cost to the employee. So, again, the employer must be able to implement engineering controls, no? Kung sa mga machine guards po yan, in the ventilation system, in a, no, example po, in a toy factory that requires medical surveillance, no? So, safety signages po, importante din po yan na ma-provide ng ating employer. Okay? So, sa reporting and recording of workplace incidents, no, record work-related accidents and illnesses. So ito po, nire-report ito sa ating online compliance portal, no? Yung ating mga WAIR, no? Tapos po, we ensure yung provisions po ng occupational health services, yung first aid, nurse, kung nire-require na po ito ng Department Order 252, yung ating mga physician and dentist, no? Yan po sa mga responsibility ng ating mga employers. So, ano pa po? Establish a safety and health committee. Importante po yan. Prohibit work when imminent danger exists. So, we protect our workers. No? So, number 2 po is pay workers correctly and on time. So, this is also a responsible employer no? Fundamental po ito, responsibility uh, of every employer. It is actually a proprietary right, no? Salaries cannot be withheld or reduced without lawful justification. So hindi po pwedeng bawasan or pwedeng i-withhold ang salary. So this responsibility ensures workers are justly compensated for their labor, no, sa kanilang trabaho in accordance with our wage order, no, or governed by contracts and other agreed terms of employment. Okay? So, susunod po dyan is yung ating cooperation with labor inspectors, no, in time of labor inspection, no. So during inspection po, no, it is the responsibility of the employer, no, to cooperate, no, with the labor inspectors, no. So dapat po makonduct namin ito effectively, no, fairly, and in line with our with due process to uphold compliance with labor standards and occupational safety and health regulations. So employers' responsibility to cooperate with us, labor inspector. So kakatok po kami sa inyo. May dala-dala po kaming authority to inspect, no? So yung responsibility po as the employer is to allow us access to the premise, no? Employers must be able to provide din po the required documents, no, promptly, no. We may request po access to your payroll, no, daily time records, no, employment contracts, yung ating mga SSS Philhealth Pag-ibig remittances, and yung ating OSH policies and certifications. Pati na rin po yung mga training records. So employer must be able to answer questions truthfully and respectfully. Okay? So, last, no, but not the least, as a responsibility of the employer, no, keeping of accurate records and complying with noted gaps or deficiencies are both clear and essential responsibility of the employer during and after the labor inspection, no. These responsibilities support the enforcement of labor laws and help ensure ongoing compliance with labor standards and occupational safety and health regulations. Okay, next slide po. So, yun po ang rights and responsibilities ng ating mga employers when it comes to the conduct of labor inspection. So, ito naman po ang impact po, no? Pag-usapan naman natin yung impact of labor inspection. So, number 1 po dyan is yung ating, no, pag-identify sa gaps, no, for our employers po, impact of labor inspection, no, improve legal compliance identifies gaps before they become legal or financial liabilities. Tama po yan. Inspections can help employers po identify and correct violations they may not have been aware of. So there is also the reduced risk of penalties and legal action, no? At dito po pumapasok yung ating voluntary compliance after an inspection can help avoid sanctions, no, fines, especially po sa ating bagong OSH guidelines where monetary penalties are provided, kaakibat yan ng element of willful failure or of an employer. Okay? So, creates a protective buffer, no, against labor complaints and lawsuits. So, doon pa lang sa level ng employer-employee, no, kung meron pong gray area, no, na dapat pag-usapan, is nape-prevent po iyon. Okay? So, what else? Ano pa ba yung mga impact ng ating labor inspection sa ating mga employers, no? So there is better employer reputation or worker retention, no? So yung mga compliant companies po are viewed more favorably by the workers, no? So may magandang opinion po sa kanila from the public, no? From the regulatory agencies and potential clients or investors, no? Some of our establishments that we visit po, no, ay naghihingi talaga pong they make sure na they provide their clients with the copy of the notice of results para po ito ay requirement, no, sa kanilang mga iba't ibang clients. So access to technical support and resources, no? So through inspection, employers receive guidance from DOLE inspectors, no, kung paano po makapag-comply and improve workplace conditions. So these are maybe referred to DOLE programs, no, seminars, productivity. So meron po mga support programs ang DOLE when after po ng inspection. So impact of labor inspection. So promotes health, safety and dignity at work, no? Yung mga karapatan ng bawat manggagawa, no? Ang kaligtasan at kalusugan at meron pong dignidad sa pagtatrabaho. So dito po, we empower workers through awareness, no, and legal protection. So we raise awareness on workers' rights, no? Often involved po yung in the labor inspection natin, yung pag-understand ng mga kanilang legal entitlements, basically such as yung sa minimum wage, no, overtime, night differential. So ini-educate po natin yung ating mga workers on their rights, no? And even po natatouch natin dyan yung security of tenure, yung maternity and paternity leave. Okay? So, dito po, pinag-uusapan din natin yung reduces risk of injury, exploitation, and unfair labor practice. Okay? Okay, so when it comes to the economy and society, since our workers are recognized po as a big contributor po sa pagunlad ng ating ekonomiya, no, in general in our society. So we enhance productivity through decent work, no. We support formalization of work arrangements, no, and labor inspection strengthens industrial peace and inclusive growth. Okay? So next slide po. Again, in the cooperation in labor standards compliance, ni-reiterate po natin yung word na collaboration, no? So hindi lang po isang grupo or hindi lang po employer or employee or DOLE, no? So compliance is a shared responsibility po, no? Labor inspection is most effective pag sinabi po nating it is built on trust and cooperation. So collective solutions are better than adversarial enforcement po. So, in-emphasize po din natin dito yung tinatawag nating tripartism, no? Yung kung saan, 'di ba po, ang logo ng DOLE is triangle, no? It's an equilateral triangle, no? Dahil po yung one side noon is yung employer, no? The workers, and then po kami as government, yung DOLE. So, this is the key to achieving decent work for all. So, yan po. That ends po our discussion. So, maraming salamat po, BWC, for inviting us po, kaming tatlo po, in this Wednesday webinar. So, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Paolo, Sir Per, and Sir Edward. Siguradong walang heartbreak talaga kung pagtutulungan natin ng compliance ng ating mga companies. Of course, with the guidance of DOLE through our labor inspectors. So again, thank you po for sharing information about what employers and workers need to know in labor inspection. And I am sure our viewers learned a lot from your discussion and they have questions from the webinar. So ito po, meron po tayong mga collected questions from the comment section. So for our first question, paano pinipili ang mga establishments para sa labor inspection? Sino po kaya ang pwedeng mag-answer natin? Sir Paulo?
Yes, ma'am, no. So we have this policy, no, na yung mga yung mga, ang tawag dito, there is this program, no, or policy na kung sino yung sa SCP program natin, no, they are being determined by our officers, no, kung sino yung magfo-focus tayo sa group na yon. Either yun yung nakakaapekto doon sa economy natin or sila talaga yung yung mga economic generators, no. So uh, doon po minsan nagfo-focus, for example manufacturing ang target, so lahat ng lahat ng manufacturing industries, same with what do you call this one pa, yung mga agriculture or what po, no. So yung mga key economic generators, minsan sila madalas, sir ma'am, no, as determined by our higher officials, no, through their sa mga meetings po nila, doon po i-determine namin kung sino po yung focus po ng labor inspection. Then after po nun, per regional offices po, no, magde-determine po yan randomly doon po, doon sa base doon sa key economic generators na nakita o sino mga industries po nakasama sa key economic generators. Yun po i-check natin or kukuhanan po ng yung mga pangalan po nila randomly po, no. Aside po doon, meron din po doon sa tab, no, yung mga micro establishments po. So lahat ng mga micro establishments po sa ating sa buong Pilipinas po, no. Meron po kaming set na target diyan na kailangan po ma-undergo sa tinatawag na technical and advisory visit. So one way po 'yan ng pagpili po ng mga establishment para sa labor inspection. Baka po may maidagdag pa si na Sir Fer and Sir Edward po.
In
Go
addition,
ahead, Sir
siguro,
Edward.
yes, ma'am. In addition, siguro, Sir Pao, we also conduct yung ating strategic compliance planning, no? So, doon po, we determine po yung ating mga priority establishments that will be part of the labor inspection po in a given period of time.
Yeah, SCP, yeah.
Yes,
The compliance program, yeah.
Yes, sir. Pao, additional lang po, one consideration rin po sa pagpili ng ating mga sinasubject for inspection is kung may history ba ito ng paglabag or may mga complaint ba ito, no? So kung may mga past violations or mga pending complaints or mga reklamo mula sa mga gagawa, mas mataas ang chance na masubject ang establishment for inspection rin po.
Yeah, parang i-check natin kung nag-comply na ba or hanggang doon lang natapos yun, no? So a matter of checking po yan. After po, for example, mayroong nga before, may non-compliance siya, we will check it again kung nagko-comply na siya this time around.
Ayun. So, babalikan talaga para masiguro na sumusunod na sa batas.
Yes.
Okay, for our next question po. Ano ang mangyayari kung tumanggi ang isang lugar ng trabaho o establishment na papasukin ang labor inspector? Ayan, marami atong experience dyan.
Yeah. As we discussed po earlier, no, under Article 128 po, ang isa sa kapangyarihan doon sa visitorial and enforcement powers po ng Secretary of Labor at ang kanyang mga authorized representatives, no, kamukha po ng mga labor inspectors. Once po na isa po sa kapangyarihan nila, meron pong right to access, no, yung pong premises. So we're talking of premises naman dito, no. So for example, ang isang company hindi pinapasok yung labor inspector despite the fact na yung labor inspector pinapakita na niya yung authority to inspect niya, no, because meron po kasing ganun kada hindi pwede yung papasok ka na lang bigla. Meron kaming may authority yan per company na allowed ka nang pumasok to inspect yung premises and the employment records, no. Ngayon, despite the fact na meron ka ng ganun, pinakita mo na lahat-lahat na ho, no, hindi ka pa rin pinapasok, then pwede hong isubject yan sa mga, may liability pong kaakibat niya, no, both criminal and administratively, no, ang isang company. So hindi po pwedeng tumaliwas po doon sa order po ng Secretary of Labor to check yung premises po and employment record. Hindi lang sa premises po, na may iba kasi papapasukin ka pero hindi ka naman papacheck yung documents. So yung employment records, ganun din ho yun, no? Or meron naman, papasukin ka nga, papacheck yung employment records, Pero meron kasi mga pagkakataon ho, no? I'm not saying lahat, no? Yung iba naman kasi mayroong gagawin nila, may i-fake nila yung documents, which is very easy in this day and age, no? Lalo na yung kung may AI na etc. Ang bilis na lang, madali na lang check. Yung pang-counter check na pwede mong itanong sa mga workers kung totoo nga yun, then you will deny access doon sa interview ng workers, then that is also may sanction din po doon, either criminal or administrative sanctions po, no, according sa labor code natin. Baka po meron pang
Maraming
idagdag si
salamat.
Sir Fer or Sir Edward.
Yan, okay na daw po sabi ni Sir Pro. First, so tama po yun, no? Huwag po tayong matakot sa mga labor inspectors natin. Bigyan natin sila ng access sa premises, sa documents, sa workers para makausap nila. Kagaya nga po na nasabi ni Sir Edward, nandyan po ang DOLE para mag-advise at mag-assist sa inyong lahat para maging compliant po tayo. Okay, for our next question po. Paano makapaghahanda ang mga employer sa labor inspection nang hindi natatakot sa multa o parusa? Ayan, connected po sa ating question kanina. So ano po ba ang preparations na kailangan na pwedeng gawin ng mga employers para hindi sila matakot?
Okay, sige. At siguro after nung sa akin ibibigay ko sa mga veteranong mga inspectors namin, no, kumbaga top tiered mga inspectors sa mga kasama natin ng Region 3, no, si Sir Fer tsaka si Sir Edward, no. Uh, the question, paano nakakapaghanda ang mga employer sa labor inspection na hindi natatakot sa multa o parusa? Well, technically wala ka naman dapat ikatakot kung nagko-comply ka, no. You have to know your rules to begin with, no. Madami naman kaming paraan na kami ay lumalapit sa mga companies to conduct labor education. And yung lahat naman po ng mga rules na yan, available yan online, no? All you have to do is to check. Okay? Pero yung nitty-gritty or yung mga specific pa po, no, ibibigay ko po sa mga labor inspectors natin para po meron tayong kumbaga connect doon sa field mismo, no? Yung mga field experiences po nila, no? So, si Sir Fer po siguro then Sir Edward po siguro mas makakapagbigay yan ng specific details po.
Okay, Sir Pao, maraming salamat. Sige, siguro itong tanong pong ito is pinaka-practical na gusto lagi namin malaman sa mga employer ay syempre yung pagkakaroon ng labor inspection hindi dapat katakutan kung handa ang kumpanya or hindi. No? Sa totoo lang, ito ay pagkakataon para makita kung maayos ang sistema at kung saan pa pwedeng mag-improve ang company, no? So, yun, paano ba makakapaghanda ang mga employer para sa labor inspection? Unang-una siguro yung alamin po natin yung mga batas at regulasyon na dapat sundin. Kasi alam po natin napaka-importante po talaga, lalong-lalo na yung ating mga labor laws and of course yung bagong OSH law po natin, no? So, kasi yun yung mga priority na chinecheck po natin during our inspection. Siguro ang isang magandang tip po dito ay gumawa ng mga internal checklist para malaman kung alin ang compliant or kung alin pa yung kailangan ayusin po, no? And yun po, kailangan rin ayusin yung records natin at documentations kasi yung employment records yun po yung unang-unang chinecheck rin po namin during the conduct of inspection. Kung minimake sure naman po natin na kumpleto at updated po yung ating mga employment records kagaya ng mga payroll, payslips, employment contracts, mas mabilis po yung pag-conduct naming inspection at konti na lang po yung mga hanapin or papalo up pa po namin. Yun rin po sigurong isa pa yung pagpapatupad ng mga safety at saka mga labor standards na actual, yung hindi sapat ang papel lang, dapat nakikita sa workplace, like for example, yung mga pag-implement na pagsuot ng PPE, safety signages, yung mga emergency exit, fire extinguishers, po yung kung may grievance mechanism rin po para sa ating mga manggagawa po. And siguro rin po yung maglaan na rin po tayo ng orientation or training sa ating mga employees. Yun po, turuan natin sila kung paano sumagot ng tapat at may respeto kapag may interview po ang mga inspector at ipaliwanag po natin na mabuti ang layunin ng inspection ay protection po at hindi ito pananakot po. So I think yung mga masasabi ko po. Yeah. Sir Edward, any additional po?
Sir Fer, tama po yun. Very very comprehensive po yung nabanggit nyo na sagot, no, regarding sa ah, preparation, no. Una po, dapat na hindi tayo dapat matakot, no, sa mga labor inspectors. So kami po ay pumupunta sa inyong mga establishments, no, not to only to check on your compliance, no, pero hindi po, tulungan din po kayo, no. Basically po, kung isa-summarize natin, may mga employers po na capable po, yung mga malalaki po siguro, yung mayroon silang pre-inspection audit, no? So they conduct it po all sa muna sa establishment level, and then po para po ma-map nila kung saan na po ang level of compliance. So pwede naman po silang magtanong sa mga inspectors. Anytime po, pwede naman po kaming mag-assist, no, at mag-guide sa inyo.
Ayan. Always there ang ating labor inspectors, parang kaibigan. Okay, for our next question po. Saan ako pwedeng mag-report kapag may nangyaring aksidente sa kumpanya namin?
Yeah. With respect dun sa mga accidents na yan, no, you can always report po doon sa nearest na DOLE, no. Well, first muna, siyempre magre-report ka muna sa safety officer mo, no. Then your safety officer will kumbaga ire-report na yan sa DOLE for us to conduct, assuming may fatal incident dyan, we will conduct immediately yung tinatawag nilang OSH investigation, no. So baka may need pang idagdag sina Sir Edward and Sir Fer.
So basically po, we can report po accidents, no? Employer or employee pwede po mag-report sa aming mga field offices, no? Pwede rin po na as part po yan ng reporting sa work accident illness report po sa ang online compliance portal. So marami pong venues para po i-report yung ating kung may mga aksidente po, no, sa ating establishment.
Ayan, thank you so much po. Meron pa tayo, Sir Per, additional?
Siguro additional na lang po in case po, yun, kung may nangyaring aksidente aside sa DOLE, pwede rin po tayong lumapit sa ECC or yung Employees Compensation Commission para ano po, maka-claims po tayo.
Oo, ng mga work-related accidents. May benepisyo yan sa gobyerno. Yan, thank you so much po. And for our next question, is there a common or standardized checklist that inspectors use in all regions during their scheduled inspections? May nabanggit po natin to kanina, napahagingan na natin, sir.
Oo, si Sir Fer, ikaw yung nag-ano na. So, okay.
Yes po, bali may ginagamit po tayong standard or pinaka basis or sinusundan po natin na checklist during the conduct of our inspections. So bali nagmula pong checklist na to sa aming sa BWC po, no ma'am. So sinusundan po namin kung ano po yung pinaka-template ng checklist na in-issue namin para sa pag-conduct po ng inspection. May guide po kami on how kung ano po yung aming i-check, yung mga indicators na nandun. Kagaya po nung establishment profile, yung mga details po na kailangan, and also for the mga compliances na kailangan po nating sundan po, no? So yun po, standardized po ang ginagamit na checklist po natin na issued ng Bureau of Working Conditions po.
Go ahead po, Sir Paulo. May additional po tayo?
Oo, yun din ang use ng standardized checklist, no, para sa lahat ng sa nationwide, isa lang yung tinitingnan ng lahat, no. And actually mahaba man yun, isa-isa, so napaka-detalyado ng checklist natin, no. Just to make sure na lahat ng yung every detail, no, yung every ng mga rules or saka mga rights ng labor ng mga workers talagang na-observe, no, using that standardized checklist.
Yes, thank you po. And the checklist is available po sa ating website, bwc.dole.gov.ph. Meron po doon isang button.
Miss Eliza, dagdag ko rin
Yes,
yun,
sir,
no.
go ahead.
Actually, dahil available siya, no, always available siya, hindi naman siya parang makikita mo lang siya kapag inintroduce siya or ginamit siya ng inspector, no? Kaya kamukha ng binanggit ni Sir Fer kanina, one way para ma-prevent mo yung ganyang violations is for you to conduct self-assessment, no? Very very ano yan, very practical na tool para medyo ikaw mismo, hindi mo naman kailangan magpa-check ka lagi, di ba? Doon mo lang makikita kung may problem. Ikaw mismo makakagamit using this standardized checklist, ikaw mismo makikita mo na kung meron ka ng issue, then you can correct it. Okay, hindi mo na kailangan hintayin muna yung DOLE para malaman mo na nagkakaroon ka na ng violations or what. Yun siguro yung mas maganda, no, na kumbaga yung gawin natin lahat ng mga companies, no, or employees to check kung talagang sabi nga ni Sir Fer kanina, tulungan yan. Sabi nga ni Sir Edward, collaboration, no, between the government, the employer and the employee, no. So they can use that for self-assessment, as self-assessment tool.
Tama, bali yun na po yung magiging guide natin, no, para bago pa dumating ang DOLE. Meron na po tayong mga substantial compliance, but i-improve na lang ni DOLE pagdating yun during inspection. Okay po, for our next question. Pwede po bang hindi papasukin ng labor inspectors hanggang walang go signal ng management?
Biro yan, no? Kung hihintayin natin ng go signal ng management, baka makuha ng magsara ng lahat ng kumpanya sa mundo, wala pang makakapasok, no? But just ano lang yan, I mean, though it's not a joke, may nangyayari kung ganyan, no? Hindi naman po. As I've said earlier, no, it is the right of the Secretary of Labor or his authorized representatives, the labor inspector, to check the premises, no, of the company. So may mga siyempre security protocol muna gagawin, etc. Kasi kailangan supposedly may susundin ka mga protocols eh. But for you to wait the go signal of the management, defeat the very purpose of inspection eh. Kung hihintayin mo yung go signal nila, then para saan pa? So it is as if we're talking na merong pang merong counter doon sa visitorial and enforcement power. So ang rule naman kasi doon, we can check the premises, we can exercise that power any time of the day and night yan, for as long na merong work na nagaganap. Okay, may kumbaga working hours doon sa time na yon, no? So wala naman nakalagay na exception or provision sa labor code na merong exception na dapat meron munang go signal from the management. Okay? Hindi naman, ma'am. The more categorical answer, hindi naman siya kailangan. Hindi siya kailangan at all actually.
May any additional po from our colleagues?
Ayun po, nag-agree po dun sa sagot ni Sir Pao na hindi po nakadepende sa approval ng management. Para lang, hindi po ito katulad ng invitation lang po na kailangan pang aprubahan, di ba? Ito po ay mandated by law, no po. So yun po, hindi siya kailangan ng go signal ng management po.
Ayan, walang RSVP. Papasukan ng mga labor inspectors para makapag-comply po tayo pare-pareho. Okay, for our next question po. Ilang days po ba ang binibigay na palugit for compliance after inspection? Ayan, nabanggit ito kanina. Ilang days po ba ang dapat sundin natin?
So yes ma'am, under DO 238 po natin, yung ating pinakabagong sinusundan as to the labor inspection po. So we have 20 days po for the compliance to complete or to submit or yung tinatawag po nating plant level restitution po. So yun, 20 days po yun. So kailangan within that period makapag-comply po or masubmit na po ni establishment yung mga na findings po or gaps or violations po during the inspections dahil pag hindi po na-comply or na-submit within that period or after 20 days, masasubject na po ito for mandatory conference po, ma'am. So, yun.
Ayan, meron tayong 20 days. Pero sir, di ba, during inspection, pag may nakitang findings, may opportunity rin po i-correct, di ba, ang findings na nakita natin. And then during MCs, pwede rin po makapag-submit ng compliances ang ating establishment. So marami po tayong chance
Yeah.
para makapag-comply, makorek po natin ang mga noted findings natin.
Yeah, Miss
Yes, Sir
Eliza,
Paolo?
no? Oo, ang dami, aside doon sa 20 days na remediation period, no? Ang dami pa yun. Sabi nga, tama nga sabi mo. Meron pa tayong mandatory conference na 30 days, no? And doon talagang we're giving every ano na lang, no? Every right doon sa company to hindi lang siguro to contest kung meron man siyang i-contest sa mga violations, no? Kasi due process na niya yan eh, okay? We're giving him the time or opportunity na mag-idepensahan niya or kung sakali man talagang totoo to comply, no? After pa ng mandatory conference, assuming may order, you are given na naman another period para to counter or what, no? So, ang daming time, no? Ang daming time para i-comply siya, no? Sadya na lang talagang, ewan ko na lang talaga, sadyang I don't know, no? Kung ano ang, kung may reason pa tayo or what not to comply because yung mismong batas natin, give us enough time para mag-comply doon sa mga noted violations ng inspector.
Ayan, maraming salamat po. Maraming time talaga. So, please, let us correct, let us work together towards compliance. Okay, for our next question po. Pwede po ba na yung ibang documents, soft copy na lang daw po yung i-present nila during inspection?
With the advent po kasi ng technology, no, since po we consider din po yung soft copy is also a form of employment record, ma'am. So, hindi lang po siya pinipresent, but we also acquire copies of these employment records, ma'am, sa inspection po.
Para mas ma-evaluate ng ating labor inspectors yung ating status of compliance, no? Saka kung meron mang kailangan i-correct, mas maintindihan din po nila at mas maipapaliwanag po nila.
Yes po, ma'am. That is correct.
Para lang malaman din ng ang practice dito sa Region 3, no. I know practice din to sa sa ibang regions, no. Yung mga soft copies talaga para na rin siguro maiwasan na lang natin yung voluminous na mga hard. Halos mawawala na tayo, paalis na tayo doon eh. Of course, no. So may mga soft copies na masabi nga ni Sir Edward, no, yung advent ng technology, capable na nating i-check yung mga documents. Yung via gaining yung ano nila, no, or requiring kahit yung mga soft copies lang to check whether yung to check yung employment records, no, it doesn't necessarily mean kailangan naman hard naman yung documents, no. But for purposes ng for example along the way baka sabihin ng iba, sir, kasi madali nang pekehin yung pirma, etc., etc., we can always check. There are lots of parang ways to check yung authenticity ng isang document. Kung sakali man nagkaroon ng suspicion regarding that one, we can always require naman yung company to provide us yung hard copy to check na legitimate talaga yung document na hawak natin. Because yung mga pirma kasi baka sabihin ng mga tao, ay mga pirma, sir, madali lang yan. Pag pinotocopy mo na yan, madali nang ma-fake yan, etc. We have this tool naman to check, or we are allowed naman to request the company or sino man na nagsasubmit to provide us yung mga original records para i-check yung authenticity, assuming merong question as to the validity ng document.
Ayan, so acceptable po both hard copy and soft copy. So mas magandang ready po tayo for both para mas efficient din po yung proseso natin sa labor inspection. For our next question po, paano po namin malalaman kung nakapag-comply na po ang aming company sa inspection?
Doon pa lang sa, for example, sabi nga natin kanina, no, once na ang inspector nag-visit to conduct a routine, let's say for example, routine inspection, no? After inspecting everything, premises and employment records, interviews with the employees, etc., then meron tayong tinatawag na notice of result. Doon sa notice of result, doon pa lang makikita mo na kung may mga violations noted by the inspector. So i-explain yan. Let's say for example, kung fully compliant ka sa general labor standards, isusulat naman doon ng labor inspector na compliant. If you are compliant din sa Occupation Safety and Health Standards, isusulat ng labor inspector doon compliant as to the Occupation Safety and Health Standards. Ngayon, if there are noted violations, yan i-explain po yan ng inspector, no? Kasi ang under 238, kailangan po merong representative from the employee and representative from the employer kung saan i-discuss niya ng labor inspector yung mga nakita niyang violations. At kung may mga questions po regarding that one, assuming, sir, paano namin siya mako-comply or what, then magpo-provide po. Sabi nga natin, no, yan po bibigyan siya ng advice kung on how to on how to on how to comply with that, no, and they will be given sufficient time. Sabi nga natin they have 20 days to comply, even the mandatory, assuming pagkulang sa mandatory conference, hindi pa rin makapag-comply, then marami pang time. And ino-note po yan, meron pong mga document na ibibigay, either sa NR or sa mga documents, or even they can ask naman, makikita sa during the minutes of the meeting. If nasa mandatory conference ka na, during the minutes of the meeting, nakapag-submit na at yung fully compliant ka na or na-submit na comply mo ng noted violations, then doon sa mandatory conference, makikita mo na doon sa minutes na yon na okay na, nakapag-comply na. So, magkakaroon ka either ng, for example, makikita naman doon, mga order of dismissal or what, may mga proper orders yan. And you will be given the chance, or you will be, kumbaga, i-discuss sa'yo in full details, okay? Kung anong currently nangyayari doon sa noted violations mo, assuming meron mang makita yung labor inspector.
Ayan, so well documented po talaga yung inspection process po natin, no? From the NR, nakalagay na doon kung ano yung status of compliance natin, kung meron pa tayong kulang, lalabas din siya sa mandatory conference notice natin. And kung hindi pa rin po nag-comply, of course, sa order po lalabas po siya. So don't worry po, malalaman po ninyo ang status of compliance ng inyong company. So for our next question po, paano po mag-request o magpa-schedule ng labor inspection? Saan po ba sila maaaring lumapit? Sino pong pwedeng i-contact nila? Pwede po bang mag-request ng labor inspection para sa kanilang company?
Actually po, may mga listed email addresses po kami. So, most of the time that we encounter po, yung po nagre-request ng labor inspection, like for example, nagre-renew ng mga DO-174 Certificate of Registration and the likes po, no? So, usually po, bukas po ang aming mga email addresses, no, sa mga field offices and even po sa aming regional offices. Or pwede naman po kayong magtungo sa aming mga tanggapan, no? At kayo po ay entertain ng kaming mga officers po.
Ayan, punta lamang po kayo sa DOLE o kaya get in touch with them through email para po makapag-request po ng labor inspection. So please do not forget to provide yung details ng company po, ano, kung anong pangalan, saang address, para mas madali pong mapuntahan ng ating labor inspectors. So next question po. May permit or letter or job order po ba ang mga inspector kapag may inspection sila na gagawin? Ayan, ano daw ang kanilang ipapakita during inspection?
Ma'am, kagaya po ng nabanggit kanina sa ating discussion, si Sir Edward po ata yung nagbanggit po ng tinatawag po nating authority to inspect or yung tinatawag nating authority to conduct inspection. So, bali, yun po yung pinaka-letter or pinaka-ticket na ginagamit po ni labor inspector para makapag-conduct po ng inspection sa isang kumpanya. Bali, yung authority to conduct inspection, andun po yung details nung name ni inspector, kung anong date, valid po itong authority to conduct inspection, the name of the establishment, and then yung address rin po. And of course, this must be duly signed po ng regional director po para maging valid po yung ating tinatawag na authority to conduct inspection po. So, yun po.
Ayan. So yan po ang pinakaunang hahanapin ng companies natin no, kapag may bumisita sa kanilang labor inspectors. Hanapin po ang kanilang inspection authority or authority to visit. So next question po. May right din ba kami na magtanong at malaman ng daily rate at computation namin, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Naku, Miss Eliza kasing kausap, no? But yes, no. If we are referring to a question regarding daily rate and computation, no, during nung advent ng inspection, wala rin naman problem because the labor inspector talagang magpo-provide din naman ng computation yan assuming may makita siyang mga issues eh. So ang isa sa ano naman, ang isa sa ang possibility na magtanong is when the employer or I'm sorry, the employee or the worker visited our office, no? Doon kasi bigla magvi-visit ang tao, then magtatanong siya ng daily rate and yung computation niya regarding kung meron mang mga underpayment or non-payment kung ano man, no? Well, yun nga, pwede naman, wala nang problem, no? It's very lahat naman trained na mag-compute, no? Pero yun nga po, no, we can only compute based doon sa representation po nung nagtatanong, no? Lalo na po kung yung mga employment kasi the computation will be based doon sa employment records. So kung wala kang dalang employment records, it is very hard to compute yung very kumbaga definite na computation na aakma sa But we can actually teach you kung paano i-compute yung isang particular let's say for example how to compute overtime pay. And we can give you the computation, no. Pero kung itatanong mo sa akin kung sir magkano ba yung exact na na computation or doon sa karapatan ko para makuha, magagawa lang natin yon kapag meron tayong employment record na makikita na pagbabasehan noong computation na yon.
Ayan, thank you po, Sir Paulo. So, matutulungan po tayo ng DOLE sa pag-compute, no? And if ever hindi po kayo makakapunta sa DOLE office, pwede niyo pong ma-download sa aming website yung Worker Statutory Monetary Benefits Handbook. Andun po yung ating guide para sa competition, para sa iba't ibang benepisyo na dapat po matatanggap ng ating mga manggagawa. Okay po, for our next question po. During labor inspection, do you require I think nasagot na rin po ito kanina, but this is the question is specific to OSH. Do you have to have a hard copy of its DOLE mandated OSH requirements or documents like OSH program? Will a soft
Yes.
copy suffice? Thank you.
Sige. Ma'am, supposedly kasi yung mga OSH programs natin, they must be posted kasi, ano. So, ang rule dyan is not only that they can provide yung hard copy or soft copy. Yung need na makita dyan is they are posted doon sa mga, let's say for example, sa bulletin board para makita siya ng mga tao na may talagang ganyang klaseng program, no? Kasi need dyan na pipirmahan pa yun or what, no? But for purposes of yung compliance, okay, we can request naman yung soft copy na merong pirmado siya ng mga employees tsaka ng employer. Pero ang requirement kasi they have to be posted so that the employees will know kung ano yung mga programs regarding, let's say for example, regarding TB, HEPA, yung HIV/AIDS, yung mental health program, and yung what do you call this one pa? Yung drug-free workplace. So may mga certain programs na need nating naka-post yan eh. So yung po. Sexual harassment pa kasama pa. Yes po.
Siguro, Sir Pao, I will add to that, no? Basically po kasi dapat po ang OSH program, no, or other OSH requirements, dapat po may access ang bawat empleyado, no? Mababasa po nila, mare-review po nila ito para po kung sakali pong may question sila regarding sa kanilang trabaho, they are guided by the OSH policies. No, so basically po, pwede naman po yung soft copy or hard copy. So basta't importante po is lagi pong may access dyan lahat ng empleyado.
Yes, aside from the access, no, sir, dapat tinuturo natin sa ating mga empleyado kung ano ba ang nilalaman ng ating OSH program dahil kasama sila sa pag-implement ng OSH program ng kanilang mga kumpanya. Sige po, for our next question. Does the standard checklist used by inspectors during scheduled inspections include the technical inspection related to the issuance of PTO for machineries? Ayan, for TSI naman. Sige po, sino pong...
Siguro ma'am, yes, actually may standard checklist pong ginagamit rin yung ating mga technical safety inspectors as to the inspection related to the issuance po ng PTO for machineries. Yes po, bali aside dun sa ginagamit na checklist for regular inspection po na kagaya po naming mga regular inspectors, may separate rin po silang ginagamit na checklist po, ma'am. Na alam ko rin, templated rin po ito and issued also by the BWC na ginaguide rin po for uniformity and standardized rin po, ma'am. So yun po. Any additional po, sir?
Yun po, tama po si Sir Ferdon, no? There's a certain specific checklist po with respect din po sa mga TSI natin, no? Doon sa paggawa nila ng technical inspection with respect doon sa issuance po ng permit to operate ng mga machineries, no? There's a separate checklist, standard checklist po sila ng
Ayan, so meron po tayong specific checklist para po sa technical safety inspection. Okay po, now we're down to our last question. Inspect if a company, if it's in a shared office and workers are out, would you give prior notice? So paano daw po kapag wala yung mga workers during inspection? Ano pong ginagawa ng ating mga labor inspectors dito?
Bali po ang inspection naman po is per establishment po ang ang inspection no ang atake namin. So kung shared po yan, it is shared by different companies po. Are you talking about that po siguro? No? Parang co-workspace no yung bagong nakalagay sa DO 252. Pero ang atake po namin dyan would be per establishment po. Pero again, it would be nice kung halimbawa po, shared space po o co-working spaces po, lahat po ng establishment doon na ma-assign for inspection is notify din po kung sakali.
Thank you po, Sir Edward. Meron pa po tayong i-add. Ayan. So we're down to our last question po. No? Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Thank you for sending your questions and for your active participation po in our webinar Wednesdays. Dakal salamat po, Sir Paolo Magtoto, Sir Fernando Malyari IV, and Sir Edward Zaire, Senior Labor and Employment Officers from the Dole Regional Office Number 3 for our discussion this afternoon. Any final message po for our viewers?
Sir Paul?
Yeah. Last time nagkaroon kami ng training of trainers po, no, regarding yung mga freedom of associate particularly, no. So isang magandang kumbaga isang magandang it came from a very wise ano natin to speaker, no, that a labor right is part of a human right, no. Sabi nga natin kanina, we talk about legal basis, but even though parang sabi, which is very good, no? The labor right doesn't emanate from yung sinasabi nating mga constitution, yung mga yan. Yeah, it's true, nandun talaga siya, no? But yung maging basis niya, ang ganda ng pagkakasabi niya, the labor right emanates mismo doon sa tinatawag nating part of human dignity yan, no? So, we must always respect as a fundamental human right yung mga labor rights natin, no? And sabi nga natin, for us to properly observe it, no, yung tinatawag nating tripartism, yung collaboration between between the government, the workers and the employees, no? Yun yung need natin para lalong kumbaga lalong umusbong o lalong maprotektahan yung mga tinatawag nating labor rights, no? So isa kami doon sa part natin bilang labor inspector sa DOLE, no? Is to ensure, no, yung compliance, strong compliance or adherence sa labor laws, no. Huwag po kayong matatakot, no. Actually wala naman reason para matakot okay? Well, unless na lang sobrang violator mo, pero or talagang ang intention mo nung naggumawa ka ng company is to violate all rules, no? Pero wala ka naman, sabi ko, wala ka naman dapat ikatakot. It's okay kung nagkakamali ka, then we are here to assist you, to correct you, no? So ganun po ang relationship natin. Full collaboration between us, the government, as DOLE, the company and the workers po, no? So wag po kayong matakot lumapit sa amin, either the employer or the employee, para magpatulong po. Mababait naman po lahat ng mga nasa sangay ng mga public servants sa DOLE, no? So feel free to go to us po for any advice or any help na kailangan po ninyo. And we are very very happy to help you po, no? Trabaho po namin yan para sa inyo.
Maraming salamat po, Sir Paulo. Sir Fer?
Ayun po, actually nasabi na po lahat ni Sir Pao. Anyway, so yun, maraming salamat po sa lahat po ng nakinig ngayon sa ating Wednesday webinars po. So yun, ulitin ko lang po, ang labor inspection ay hindi po pananakot, no? At kaming mga DOLE inspectors, mga kaibigan po kami, mga kampi po kami na handang tumulong at gumabay sa lahat po, mga employers, employees, and companies po, no? And also, kundi ang labor inspection ay gabay para sa mas ligtas, fair, and productive na workplace para sa lahat po, no? Ayun nga, kung magsama-sama po tayo, ang gobyerno, employers, at workers, hindi lang compliance sa makukuha po natin, no? Kundi isang magandang workplace na parang healthy relationship po, no? Yun po. Thank you po.
Thank you po,
So,
Sir Fer. Sir Edward?
yes, Ma'am Eliza, again, maraming salamat po for everyone who joined us in this webinar Wednesday, no? So maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsubaybay dito sa ating Facebook page. Again, tama po, no, ang nabanggit po ni Sir Pao and Sir Fer, no, ang importansya po na ipaalam po natin, no, na sa ating mga employers, mostly na wag po kayong matakot, wag po kayong mag-atubili na kami itawagan, i-text, no? May email din po. Marami pong access para po kayo ay kung may katanungan sa larangan ng labor laws, no? So mga standards is willing po kami. Bukas po ang aming tanggapan, no, para kayo po ay tulungan sa inyong question or query.
Maraming salamat po, and maraming salamat po sa ating mga labor inspectors from DOLE Regional Office Number 3. Maraming salamat din po kay Regional Director Geraldine Panlilio para sa pagpapaunlak sa aming request bilang resource speaker po dito this afternoon. So thank you po once again, and please do not forget that you can email us at bwc.dole.gov.ph, and you may also call our DOLE hotline 1349. Again, please follow us at DOLE BWC 1949 sa aming Facebook, Twitter or X, YouTube, and Viber to stay up to date with the latest announcements and activities from BWC and DOLE. I-share na rin po ninyo ang video na ito sa inyong mga friends, family, and colleagues, at huwag kalimutan gamitin ang ating hashtag Webinar Wednesdays para mas marami pa ang maging informed sa mga programa ng BWC, DOLE at ng kanilang mga attached agencies para sa kapakanan ng mga manggagawang Pilipino. If you missed any of our webinar episodes, please head on to our YouTube channel at doon po ninyo mapapanood lahat ng ating Webinar Wednesdays episodes from Season 1 to Season 3. On behalf of the Bureau of Working Conditions, maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikisa. See you po sa susunod na mga episodes. Once again, this is Eliza Sanyosa, your moderator, signing off.
Para sa mga katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon,
maaari po tayong tumawag sa DOLE Hotline 1349 o sumambuni sa mga DOLE Regional Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa.